I don't know what the recommendation is.
I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no.
This prosecutor is not playing around. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we are heading back to Judge Tammy Hayward's courtroom to watch her handle another right to travel sovereign citizen. This time, a no-nonsense prosecutor joins in as well. So let us begin.
All right, Mr. Resto. So Mr. Resto, you have two cases. You have case number. You hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I'll represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as law concern when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually show them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid, and you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license,
Honor,
so
I
my
believe
Georgia
this sounds like a
driver's
not
license.
guilty.
I do not want to make any assumptions, but it does seem like Prosecutor Taylor is enjoying himself a little more than usual. And he is right. All that arguing your case is completely unnecessary at this stage. Today, a simple guilty, not guilty, or standing mute response is all that is required.
Okay. So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't
Well,
know.
the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that the recommendation, I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more than that. So let me explain why I know it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay.
And the fines are hefty. So you would get a plea on the first one, and that's a $500 fine, which is $737.50. But the next one is going to be $1,000 in addition to that, and that's $1,420. So we're looking at almost $2,200.
Your Honor, it's Mr. Resto represented on the particular case that we're referring to.
Well,
I
I
want to
don't
address
know.
him directly if he's
So-
represented, because this is a serious matter.
I get you. So that's why I'm saying, Mr. Resto, you have representation. I can allow you to be represented on both cases, and they can help you work this out. But understand
Well,
that
I was already represented by Lister and Holt, and we kind of been going back and forth with the district attorney's office for a while, and they've been giving me recommendations, and I still didn't take it, but they've been giving me recommendations. I don't know what's changed, but it definitely
Okay.
wasn't $2,000.
um talk to your attorney and let them tell you what the recommendation they have on the table, okay? Because the recommendation, if you're represented, even if you're only represented on one case, the rec is probably going to come to your attorney.
Okay, now does the if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay,
Or, or
I'm not sure what that is.
To be fair, neither does he. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if a judge just made up an oath on the spot, just to see if a sovereign citizen would accept it without question.
So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over.
okay, so that's not actually in the Constitution.
And
So
I don't
right to
believe
travel,
automobiles
right to
were
travel.
allowed when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I actually had to look this up. The 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, while the first vehicle on an American road appeared in 1893. It was called the Duryea motor wagon, so the prosecutor is correct. I also read the entire 14th Amendment, and it does not mention horses, buggies, automobiles, or the right to travel. I think this claim belongs in the made-that-up category.
That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse-drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So
so
an automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse-drawn wagon, or a carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
And it's
Hold on, Mr.
totally
Taylor.
private household good.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you want them to interfere if
Now,
somebody.
if you murder somebody because
Okay, say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
No, that because that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interference you just traveling.
So basically, you want the police to do their jobs when it benefits you, but not do their jobs when it does not benefit you.
Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they would come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning they can you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I
all
mean,
of those things are not true.
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created. So people
Okay.
was actually their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became.
Are you saying that drivers existed before driver's licenses existed? It seems like the government realized that almost anyone could operate a 2-ton vehicle, and they decided it was in the best interest of public safety to regulate it.
That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest. Actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV, that's a totally separate entity.
Okay.
And for
So,
some
Mr.
reason,
Resto, do you want to resolve the case, because it's
I
not going
want
to
to
be
resolve the
40
case.
hours
I
of
disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would
it,
pay. I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation,
Mr.
but
Resto.
$2,000 that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? Can I be?
No,
Because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that
No.
and count,
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys
Okay.
lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this
So,
case right now? I can do 1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Did you just say that you have $1,000 right now to put toward a fine of more than $2,000, but you cannot get a driver's license that costs around $150 every 5 years? That does not seem logical.
Mr.
And
Mr. Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
what's on the table now?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on.
I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening, Mr. Resto. Mr. Resto,
I mean, today, like, I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table, and then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me, because there's stuff I cannot do.
Okay, just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And
Okay,
if I pay
sir,
it off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be great.
It seems like you are not listening. The judge has told you multiple times that this is not the time or place for that discussion, and she is not the person you need to address about it. Judge Tammy then sends him, the lawyer he does not want, and the prosecutor into a breakout room to discuss the case further. However, Mr. Resto unexpectedly left in the middle of negotiations. Maybe what the attorneys say next will explain why.
Sorry, I was discussing with Mr.
Resto.
Resto, and I understand something changed about his bond.
Okay. He has bonds with two bondsmen. I don't know of anything. Did somebody come off a bond?
Your Honor, maybe I can address that question.
Okay.
Mr. Resto, our office filed a motion to revoke bond, and that motion was granted a rule nisi. and it was calendared. That motion didn't happen because of the pandemic. It was, I believe, scheduled to happen in 2021, maybe February, but somewhere about that time. I informed Mr. Kamani to inform his client that depending on the outcome of today's arraignment, the state intends to move forward on that bond revocation. Your Honor, may I make a request on that matter?
Sure, Mr. Taylor.
I'd request that the defendant does show in person for not for him. Zoom court is or remote appearance is not sufficient.
He already struggles to show up to Zoom court, and the prosecutor now wants him to appear in person, which makes sense because he did not show up to the next hearing either. He called in at the end of the docket, claiming he had a doctor's appointment scheduled on the same day as court. You can believe that explanation if you want, but it does raise some questions.
It's my understanding that you and Mr. Castaneda have parted ways with respect to your case.
Yeah. Did he file a motion to withdraw?
Yeah. Did you want to go forward without an attorney representing yourself?
Yeah, it seems like the attorneys that the state appoints me, they have a very hard time of like listening to their clients, like what they have to say. Like I had a conversation with him for like maybe 5 minutes, and he was very like wanted to do what he wanted to do. He didn't want to hear what I had.
So you are saying that a lawyer who studied law for years and practices it professionally does not want to take advice from someone whose entire legal knowledge comes from internet searches? That is surprising.
Or he was just telling me like I was raising concerns about the state came off of my bond, and I was trying to figure out why they came off my bond when I showed up for court. I gave him no reason to come off my bond, and he said,
So when you say come off your bond, the bonding company has to do that, not the state. So I'm not sure. Like,
well, they filed a motion to come off my bond. That's what he stated.
Okay, is that Free at Last or Atlanta Clayton bonding?
No, not Free at Last. It was.
I have that you.
He stated that the state filed a motion with your court, stating that they wanted to come off my bond to where basically I would have warrant on me.
Okay, Miss John D.A., do you have any outstanding bench warrants for Mr. Resto? I don't recall signing any, but I may have.
Did the state file any motions in regards to that?
No.
The careful observer in me notices that Mr. Resto is very focused on his bond revocation, even though, as the judge said, it was not even being considered. That makes me question whether his emergency doctor's appointment, which happened to fall on the same day as court, was truly just a coincidence.
Yeah, I did. So just Your Honor, I didn't know that he was back. I'd already given the file to my assistant. She said she had just sent off the bench warrant to you as well, I think. So,
Same thing.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Mr. Resto, you're here. So I haven't signed anything yet.
Okay. Does the state have any intention on trying to come off my bond?
No. So, sir, they don't come off your bond unless you fail to appear. My understanding is you had a medical excuse for being late today. So you contacted
I'm actually still at the hospital. I just had a minor surgery.
Okay, so Ms. Val has allowed you to come on to the call today because she knew that you had a medical issue. So we can deal with your case today, or we can give you a continuance until December 6th, but nobody's coming off the bond and the bench warrant will not be signed.
Okay, I want to handle this today. It's kind of been lingering over my head for some years now. I'm really tired of it. And but I hear that the state is trying to like give me like 10 days in jail, and that would like absolutely ruin my business, my life.
So
I have a 2-year-old son. I'm a single father.
All the reasons you just listed actually sound like very good reasons to obtain a valid driver's license.
Yeah, but see, Judge, in my situation is okay. I got the documentation from the Alabama motor vehicle department. See,
Okay.
I'm actually an Alabama citizen.
Hold
and
on,
I was
Mr.
traveling.
Resto. Hold on. Let me put you in a breakout room with me and the state so we can hear what you're saying, but we're not putting it all out there in case you want to make a different decision, okay?
Okay. Well, I have no absolute reason to lie, and I really believe
No,
that
no,
I
it's
can be
not that,
vindicated.
sir. This is what I would if you had an attorney who was representing you, okay? So this is called a
Yeah, but
pre-trial.
I just honestly believe that when you're just being truthful, there's really no need for attorneys when you're just being honest about your situation.
Believe me when I say this, you can seriously hurt your own case by being open and honest in the wrong way and accidentally admitting to a violation. A lawyer would understand that. The court date was rescheduled, and to no one's surprise, he failed to appear again.
Next is Mr. Resto. Mr. Castaneda was fired by Mr. Resto, so he's no longer counsel of record. Mr. Resto is wanted, and there is no surety on that. Does the state have it? There's no surety order on that. Does the state have a request in the Resto case?
Mr. Resto, yes, state would definitely request a rule absolute amendment.
Okay, on both cases, rule absolute will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.